Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Taking a look here at Celestia, seeing what's going on here. We broke free from our ascending trend. That bearish rectangle essentially played out to the downside. As expected, while we didn't take a trade in our community, I know a good handful of our traders did, so congrats on that. Also, quick congrats to our profit from Solana, ICP, and Near Protocol. Those are some shorts we took profit on over the weekend. And at this point here, we're looking to be in pretty good shape to consider either a long or a short. Now, what I mean by that is it would seem logical for us to pivot and bounce off this 440 range. I'll explain more about that in a minute. But it's also equally as logical that the price is going to continue to run down with Bitcoin if Bitcoin pulls back. Most altcoins, this one specifically, are pulling back much harder than they are increasing when Bitcoin recovers. So let's take a look at that. Let's pull up some backend data, kind of see what's going on first. And while we're loading that, I want to say thank you so much for the awesome feedback from everybody. Been super supportive. A lot of cool people watching the channel. Some have been watching for almost 4 years. Some have been watching for 4 days. I don't know exactly, but I can say I'm super thankful for you. And I appreciate you always hitting the like button, commenting below. Deeply appreciate that. If you're not familiar, I do have a trading academy, community, and signals group. That's also linked below if you're curious. Let's take a quick look here at the last 7 days. So we got a ton, and I mean a lot, of liquidation of the downside. So our more immediate liquidation level here is about 425, but heavy concentrations at 350 to 390. The reason why 350 to 390 exists, by the way, is because that's in this little gray area, because that's closer to the previous low. Okay, a lot of times folks will put their liquidation, well, they don't necessarily choose their liquidation, but they use high leverage, and they put their stop loss in most cases, because this is stop losses and or liquidation events that could occur, and these are kind of, they're always at that just below key level supports. So people at this point feel like 350 to 390 is a pretty solid support range. We'll see if that's the case, but we look at this, we zoom out a little bit here, we can see pretty much the same narrative here. 1 billion there, 2, 3, somewhere in the range of 3 to 4 billion liquidation between 360 and 420. It's a lot, right? Basically implies the price could continue lower. We look at the liquidation delta, it's also very high. This is a common narrative across the board too. You look at every single analysis I've done today, it's a very high delta. The only one that's low is Dogecoin. That coin has a lot of potential for further upside. But here's Bitcoin, for example. 8 billion in liquidation short delta there. Way too much, okay? So at least me to believe we will see a bit of a relief rally here. And in turn, Celestia could respond in kind, but it's hard to say. All right, so let's go with, let's just go ahead and look at the chart and see what's going on here. Let's not, focus on potentials and could be's or who knows what's it called. But the point of this is that we're underneath every single moving average on the daily time frame. That's a fairly bearish scenario. Doesn't mean the price can't still recover. It just implies taking a long end of that makes less sense, especially from a swing trader's perspective. If you're day trading, you're scalping, different story altogether. Please understand that there's different trading techniques. My technique is more so to hold a coin for 12 to 24 hours, upwards of 1 to 2 weeks. That's my sweet spot, okay? And my leverage, my risk tolerance is based on that. So when you see me talk about not taking a trade right now, it doesn't mean you couldn't take a long from 440 to 480. I'm not saying that's even a possibility, just saying you could still totally do that and not have confirming factors and have some luck with it, okay? Key takeaway, I think, is that luck is present where you shouldn't trade with luck. You should trade with skill. And again, skill can mean very little in the face of manipulation, but that's why we look at liquidation, because that really helps us understand the incentive. Our short liquidation delta is way too high. We have too many shorts in the market. It would make sense we see a slight relief rally. Anyways, there's nothing here present on the daily time frame telling us that's going to happen. Just want you to realize that. 4-hour time frame, same scenario here too. We're underneath all moving averages until we break above the 20. At the very least, we can presume the price will continue lower. We look here at the RSIs, we can see as well, same scenario. We even have more potential for further downside. Interesting thing here is, though, the money flow index is higher than the RSI. Usually that's a positive sign, but it's not enough to warrant a long position. We look at this recent past when the RSI was below the money flow index. The price recovered quite nicely, but again, plateaued out here, this 475 mark, and pulled back. It's having difficulty, obviously, being above the 20-day SMA. So until that happens, there's really no reason to want to consider a long, okay? MACD's diverging here on the 4-hour, not a good sign. Even though that's kind of a false positive, we don't have a lot of momentum anyways. It's still not good. And if we take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud, there's every reason here to leave your short position open or to consider a short versus a long. Okay, so not really a great predicament here for Celestia. Not a good look, but again, that's just par for the course. So my speculation is we will see further downside. If we look at the macro here, we recognize there's a pretty significant gap here. This area of liquidation could very well get swept. Again, it was, what is it, 350? Is that what it was? Yeah, 350 to 420. So 350 to 420 looks like this here. It's a pretty big range, but that's approximately what we're looking at there for liquidation. Okay. All right, so that's about 3 billion, which we estimated there. So overall, not the best case scenario here for Celestia. So when we look at this, it would make a lot more sense to consider a short versus a long. It's not really recommended to short the bottom though. I wouldn't say this is definitely the bottom, but we're seeing some overextension. We're seeing a lot of reasons why the price could recover. We take a look at TD sequential. We're overextended definitely by about 2 days extra. So if you're going to take a long, just watch it close. That's all there is to it. But just know you're going to be statistically less likely to find success going up than down at this exact point. Okay, I'll post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here shortly. Make sure you take advantage of our Bitunix offer. They are offering $60,000 progressive prize pool for the top 20 contestants. We have maybe somewhere in the range of 800 traders. Got some pretty high volume here for some folks. So congrats on that to anyone who's trading there. But more importantly, no KYC, VPN required exchange. Bitunix has been awesome to us. Check them out. I think you're going to like them. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, though, folks. Look forward to the next one. Take care.